Hi everybody, welcome to Tommy Maroon Sports Show. As you can tell, I voted. I hope you did. If you didn't, shame on you, because that's exactly what this country was built on, voting and stuff. But you know what? I'm not here to shame people. I'm here to talk about stuff like the Cleveland Cavaliers, because my goodness, they have been on a tear. Darius Garland leads the Cavs in assists per game with 7.3 and steals per game with 1.7. This is heading into yesterday's game, so these are not updated. Donovan Mitchell had 31.4 points per game, which led them. Jared Allen led the Cavs with 11.3 rebounds per game, and Evan Mobley led the Cavs with 1.8 blocks per game. Let's look at the game recap, shall we? First things first, that game right there, an instant classic, the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Boston Celtics. What a game it was as the Cavs pick up their sixth straight win. 114 to 113 in overtime. My goodness, that was pretty awesome. Darius, 29 points and 12 assists in his return back after that eye injury he suffered. Jared Allen, 14 points, 14 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 30 points. Jason Tatum, 26 points, 12 rebounds. The Cavs are now 3-0 in overtime games this year. A very back-and-forth game, whereas the Celtics had 5 more blocks than those good old Cavs. Cavs against the Pistons. Cavs won their 7th straight that day with a very dominant 112 to 88 victory. Jarrett had 23 points and 7 rebounds. Kevin Love and Shady Osman, 4 threes each. Cade Cunningham, 19 points. Saddiq Bey and Jaden Ivey, 18 points each for Detroit. And the Cavs were without Darius Garland and without Donovan Mitchell, and still had 14 more assists and 13 more rebounds than Detroit. And more importantly, they had 24 more points than the Pistons. Of course, that's the category that counts the most. Cavs against the LOL Lakers. Why do I call them the LOL Lakers? Because they're not good despite having some MVP candidates. The LOL Lakers, the LOL Lakers. 8 straight for the Cavs. You can't count them out. No, sir. Donovan Mitchell, 33 points. Darius Garland, 24 points. LeBron had 27 for the LOL Lakers. Anthony Davis, 19 points, 12 rebounds, also for the LOL Lakers. Lakers were leading for most of the first half, and they were also up by 12, and they had 5 more assists, but as you know, the LOL Lakers are very overrated. Cavs against the Clippers, tough one. It was a tough one. Cavs lost 119 to 117. Donovan, 30 points. Darius, 19 points, 12 assists. Evan Mobley, 26 points. Paul George, 26 points as well, but for Los Angeles. And Marcus Morris Sr., 20 points. Cavs were up 13 in the fourth, and the Clippers ended the game on a 15-0 run, and the Cavs' win streak sadly came to an end, which was very frustrating to see. What's not frustrating to see is that the Cavs will be coming up soon. I can tell you that. Let me look at the Cavs' schedule. Of course, no games today, but tomorrow it's at Sacramento, then Friday at Golden State before returning home Sunday to play Minnesota. Wow, we're about an eighth of the way through the season. Who would have thunk it? I wouldn't have. Oh, well. Well, for the last time in a while, NASCAR, because we can. Joey Logano won it. He is the NASCAR champion. First time he's won since 2018. Also won stage 1, finished second, stage 2. Ryan Blaney, stage 2. Blaney was in second. Ross Chastain third. Chase Briscoe fourth. Landon Castle spun out lap 85. There were 2 cautions between laps 193 and 200. Alex Bowman spun out lap 268, and it was a great season, of course. And, of course, Logano, the winner right there. Next season, I hope to cover it right here on WCTV. We'll see. Next, Tommy's picks, because nothing says Tommy Maroon Sports Show quite like my picks. D1R1 in the regional quarterfinals. It starts off with St. Ed's blanking Jackson 42 0. How about St. Ignatius last Friday night? 28 points down at the half, down 42-14. Well, it looked to be Chuck Kyle's last game, and he's like, no, I still have some juice left inside me. Proceeds to come back. A very gutsy going for 2 decision that pays off as St. Ignatius won it 50-49. Wadsworth gave Medina a bit of a scare, but Medina eventually won 49-35. Mentor beat McKinley 19-14. Medina and Mentor will be facing off. Division 2, Region 5, Archbishop Holben won 41-13. St. Vincent St. Mary edges out a win all the way in Youngstown to Austintown Fitch 21-14. Riverside takes care of Nordonia 62-28. And Hudson's undefeated season still going on strong as they defeat Walsh 34-7. And Avon, my lock of the week, was right with a 35-14 win over the North Royalton Bears. Olmsted Falls goes all the way to White House to play Anthony Wayne and wins 28-10. And for Highland, our undefeated season still going just like Hudson. I'm holding my breath a little bit now, but we'll get to more about that later. 49-7 win over North Olmsted. Well, it was a great game. We'll be playing Toledo Central Catholic, who shut out Avon Lake 21-0. We'll get to more about the Highland TCC game later. Division 2, Region 7, Massillon Washington beat Winchester 34-0. Big Walnut beat Watkins Memorial 35-21. Wake beat St. Francis de Sales 13-7, and Westerville South beat Hoover 27-21. Division 3, Region 9, Chardon still going on strong with a 35-7 win. Kenston, how about the Kenston Bombers, the 13th seed? They're playing in the regional semifinals. 31-7 win over Cheney. Canfield beat Aurora 42-14, and Ursuline took down Talmadge 45-28. In Division 3, Region 10, Holy Name beat Lutheran West 20-10. Mansfield Senior beat Defiant 16-0. How about the Padua Franciscan Bears? My goodness. 32-28 win over the number 2 seeded Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes. My gosh. Yes, Norton is next. Norton upsets Clyde. That's huge. Norton is going to be playing Padua Franciscan as a Cinderella team is guaranteed to reach the regional finals. But who will it be? We will see after this Friday, of course. Division 4, Region 13 was not a strong one for me. I only went 1-3 there. West Branch beat Struthers 54-35. Bucknell beat Northwest 31-14. Canton South beat Beaver 56-48. And Jefferson Area won as well by a final score of 29-22. Or no, 26-20. Van Wert beat Perkins 29-22. Back to where it was. Division 4, Region 14, Glenville continuing their undefeated season with a 43-6 victory over Bellevue. Elyria Catholic will be playing Glenville after defeating Clear Fork 42-14. And, of course, we mentioned Van Wert Perkins, and that means West Holmes will be playing Van Wert after destroying Memorial 56-21. Division 5, Region 17, South Range beat Garfield 49-10. Cardinal Mooney beat Norwayne 24-17. Garraway defeated Ridgewood 21-6. And Perry took down Fairless 35-0. Division 6, Region 21. Kirtland still undefeated, just like the Massillon Washington Tigers, I believe. Yes, I believe Massillon Washington's undefeated. Let me check for a quick second. No, they are not undefeated. Excuse me. They lost. They lost to Moeller. Duh. Excuse me for that, folks. But here's some undefeated teams along with Kirtland, Columbia, which we'll get to in a minute, Highland, Archbishop Holben, and Hudson. No, Archbishop Hoban's not undefeated. Archbishop Hoban lost to St. Ed's last week of the season. Good God. Oh boy. Dalton beat Brookfield 26-3. Mogador took down Kent Central Catholic 19-14. And Cuyahoga Heights beat Valley Christian 10-6. Division 6 Region 22. Colonel Crawford upsets the number 1 seeded Cary 21-14. Columbus Grove beat Northwestern 34-22. Crestview beat Patrick Henry 31-22. Speaking of Columbia, the Raiders beat Hopewell Loudon 36-6. Division 7, Region 25, Warren JFK beat Springfield 13-6. And Southern beat St. Paul 42-22. Lucas beat Louisville 35-25. And Danville beat Hillsdale 42-41. So those are all the high school regional quarterfinals in Northeast Ohio. I would have a last week recap, like saying what my record was, but oh boy, that would take ages for me to do. College football time. Air Force beat Army 13-7. TCU beat Texas Tech 34-24. Georgia took down Tennessee 27-13. Florida defeats Texas A&M 41-24 in what's been a frustrating season for the Aggies. Iowa beat Purdue 24-3. Kansas is officially bowl eligible after upsetting Oklahoma State 37-16. And Liberty upset Arkansas 21-19. And Alabama lost. Alabama is out of the college football playoffs. Thank you, God. Because everyone is tired about Alabama. All I can say is that stick a fork in Nick Saban because he is done. That's right. I think he might want to consider retirement soon because losing to Tennessee, losing to LSU, while admittingly two good schools, typically Alabama wins those games. Typically Alabama always wins those games. And they almost lost to Texas. And they almost lost to Texas A&M for the Lord's sake. My goodness, Texas A&M. They've been having a rough season this year.
And Clemson lost.
Yes, Notre Dame won. Thank you. The first big win Notre Dame has had in my lifetime. I can't believe it. Marcus Freeman's my dad. Marcus Freeman is your dad. Marcus Freeman is everybody's dad. Yeah, and a Buckeye. Of course, he's a Buckeye, and he lost to Ohio State. But that was just his second game, so it turns out when we all said fire Freeman, turns out we were all overreacting. Thank you, God. And Texas beat Kansas State 34-27. Michigan beat Rutgers 52-17. Utah beat Arizona 45-20. Mississippi State beat Auburn 39-33 in overtime. Not even a new coach can save the Auburn Tigers. And NC State beat Wake Forest 30-21. In the NFL, the Eagles are still undefeated, 29-17, beating the Texans. The Suxons, that's right. I never thought of that. Chargers beat the Falcons 20-17. It was another Free Willy win over the Sea Bears 35-32. In the words of one of my favorite YouTubers, Tua Tagovailoa is now 6-0 in games in which he doesn't die in. The Bengals and Joe Mixon went crazy against the Panthers, who are tanking for that first pick, that's for sure. 42-21 win. And the Lions won. What world do we live in? The Lions actually won. They beat Aaron Rodgers, who is washed up, and that man, just like Nick Saban and Tom Brady, you can stick a fork inside him because he is done. Suxonville beat Choke Vegas 27-20. Vegas has had 3 double-digit leads this season, has lost those 3 games. The Patriots beat the Colts. Frank Reich is out, and their new coach, you might be wondering who it is, why it is. Yes, Jeff Saturday. I knew that. I'm trying to find the clip. I can't believe I have to drive all the way to work on a Saturday. All the way to work from Toy Story. That's right, Jeff. I can't believe.
I can't believe I have to drive all the way to work on a Saturday. All the way to work.
It's, ironically enough, across the street, which is the joke in the Toy Story movie. I think it's either Toy Story 2 or 3. I think it's 3. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, the Jets won. The Jets won. I knew the Jets were going to win because they had momentum. And Robert Saleh is going to win Coach of the Year sooner than later. 20-17. Vikings beat the Commies 2017 as well. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals 31-21. Tom Brady's marital woes may have ended, but he won, unfortunately, 16-13. The Chiefs teamed up with the refs to beat the Titans on Sunday night, 2017, and the Ravens beat the Saints 27-13. Now it's time for Tommy's picks. My goodness, the recap took a while. First things first, the high school football regional semifinals, St. Ed's against St. Ives. I'm picking St. Ed's. And I think Medina's going to beat Mentor, which means we're going to have a rematch of the D1R1 finals from last year. In Division 2, Region 5, Hoban plays St. Vincent St. Mary, picking Hoban. And I think Hudson's going to continue their undefeated season with a win over Riverside. And Avon will beat Olmsted Falls. And I hate to say this, I have never picked against the Hornets in my entire history of this show. Not even in 2020 or 21 or 22. It changes today. I'm picking Central Catholic. TCC, I think, is going to win, unfortunately, which is going to really stink and suck for us. Jordan against Kenston. I don't know why, but I'm thinking Kenston. That's my upset of the week. They played Jordan pretty well earlier this season, and as a 13th seed, you never know what can happen. Campfield's going to beat Ursuline as well. And Holy Name and Padua will win in Division 3, Region 10. In Division 4, Region 13, I think West Branch will end Brookdale is going to continue their crazy run, even though they're the number 13 seed. I think they have what it takes to beat West Branch. And Jefferson area against Canton South, I'm picking Canton South. And now in Region 14, Glenville against Elyria Catholic. My lock of the week can be those Tar-Blooders of Glenville. They are undefeated as well. They just don't know how to lose. West Holmes against Van Wert. Picking West Holmes to win that. South Range against Cardinal Mooney. I think Cardinal Mooney's hopes and dreams of making it and crashing everybody's brackets will end with a loss to South Range, and Perry, I think, will beat Garraway. Kirtland will beat Dalton. Mogador to beat Cuyahoga Heights. And then, of course, number 8 seed Colonel Crawford going up against number 5 seed Columbus Grove. I'm thinking Grove's going to win, and I think Columbia is going to beat Crestview. Division 7, Region 25, Warren JFK against Southern, picking Warren JFK. And Danville Lucas, picking Lucas to win that. College football time. Cincinnati against Eastern Carolina, picking Cincinnati. Ohio State against Indiana, picking those Buckeyes to win that as my lock of the week. Arkansas against LSU, picking LSU. Illinois against Purdue, picking the Fighting Illini. Navy against Notre Dame. Well, because Marcus Freeman can beat the good teams and not beat the bad teams, I have a bad feeling Navy's going to win. UConn against Liberty, I'm picking UConn. Clemson against Louisville, picking Clemson. Ole Miss against Alabama. Once again, Nick Saban put a fork in that dude because he's done with, he is cooked. And he's going to continue to be cooked with a loss to Ole Miss.
And those ranking numbers will change tonight.
Yes, they will. Those are from the, I think that's the AP rankings, actually. I looked it up on ESPN.com. That's what they had. I don't think they had the... Wait, no. Those are actually...
Last week's CFP rankings.
Yes, last week's CFP rankings. Thank you. How could I possibly forget? Tulane playing UCF, picking Central Florida. Florida, I think, will beat South Carolina. Georgia will beat Mississippi State. Bo Nix and Oregon will beat Washington. Baylor will upset Kansas State. TCU to beat Texas, and Syracuse will lose to Florida State. Florida State will beat Syracuse. Now it's time for the NFL. As you can tell, we have not one, not two, but 3 tank bowls, which we will get to in a second. First, the Panthers play the Falcons. I'm picking the Falcons on Thursday night. Al Michaels will continue to question his life choices out there as he will watch some more boring football. I would call it tank bowl, but whomever wins that game might actually win the division. The NFC South is that pathetic this year. Tom Brady is washed up, as we all know, against the Seahawks, picking the Seahawks. A potential Super Bowl matchup. How about this one? Bills-Vikings. I'm picking the Bills. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Tank Bowl! That's right, your name tree does it all the time. Tank Bowl 5. The Sea Bears are going to beat the Wool Lions because the Lions suck. Speaking of teams that suck, I think that the Chiefs are going to be my lock of the week against Sucksonville. Free Willie's going to beat the Browns, sadly. Giants are going to beat the Texans, which continues to prove that the NFC East went from the least to the best. Or beast, I guess. NFC Beast, I guess. Tank Bowl number 6. Let's play that theme again. The Pittsburgh Steelers are finally playing in Tank Bowl. Thank you, God. I've waited my entire life to say that. I never thought I'd ever say that. They're playing the Saints. I'm picking the Saints to win because the Steelers suck. Wow, did you ever think I was ever going to say that? I didn't. And then Titans against Broncos country. Let's die. Because Russell Wilson makes every Broncos fan want to die now. Now I'm picking the Titans. And what's that? We have another Tank Bowl. That's right, Jeff. I can't believe I have to drive all the way to work on a Saturday. All the way to work is going to be in a Tank Bowl week in his first game of the season. In his first game ever as coach, it's a Tank Bowl. Chuck Vegas against the Colts. I think Chuck Vegas will jump out to a big lead, and then the Colts will win. Aaron Rodgers is washed up, as we all know, by call them choke pack choke. Against the Cowboys, picking the Cowboys. Rams will beat the Cardinals. 49ers to beat the Chargers. And my upset of the week, the Commies are going to beat the Eagles. And that means there will be 0 undefeated teams after this weekend. The 72 Dolphins can pop out the champagne like they always do. Of course, I thought that was an urban legend, but yeah, it is an urban legend, but still. Anyways, folks, that's it. That's all the time we have left on Tommy Maroon Sports Show on WCTV. We'd like to remind you next week more Cavs and more Tommy's Picks. That's right, Tommy's Picks will be a lot of fun, featuring the regional finals, college football, and the NFL as always. Till then, I'm Tommy Maroon. See you next week.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.